Evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Dee Dee Gatton, and tonight the Madison, Wisconsin community is in mourning after a teacher and student were killed in a shooting at a Christian school. Police say the shooter also died. Let's get straight over to Jeff Harris at the live desk, and police just shared an update. Jeff, what are you learning?
Some new information just into the live desk, Dee Dee. We've now learned that the suspected shooter is 15-year-old Samantha Rupp, now who you see right here on the left-hand portion of your screen. A teacher and a student are now dead. 6 others were hurt. Police say she planned the attack in advance. Police are now combing through her family's home, already confirming they found a manifesto planning this crime. Police say a handgun was used in this shooting. A second-grade student was the first to call 911. Within minutes, police arrived and found the suspect dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now police are trying to trace that handgun.
I was getting ready for lunch, so it was basically lunchtime. And then I just heard sobbing, and there was a teacher, and she was screaming like, "Ah, my leg, help, help."
Do you know that teacher well?
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to hear that? Were you scared?
I was really scared, and I was really sad.
Now, the school doesn't have metal detectors nor resource officers. School officials say they had trained earlier this year about what to do during an active shooter situation. As of right now, the identities of the victims have not yet been released. 6 others were injured, including 2 students who are still fighting for their lives tonight. A vigil is scheduled for tomorrow.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. How cruel is it to interview that child? You know that those reporters bribed that little girl with that SpongeBob popsicle just to speak with them. I can't believe the teachers or anybody at that school would allow them to let that little girl be interviewed. That's awful. Awful. It should not have happened. But, I mean, it just goes to show you the vulture tactics of the media. You know, I mean, that's local news, so it's really less. But even in college, like I remember when freaking what's his name, Orsak got fired. His short tenure there, like he was there for like 2 months, and he got caught peeing in public, and they're like, "You're gone," you know.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
Those news people came up and just like, "You want to talk about it with us?" And I was like, "No, I never even met the guy. Why do I care? Like, he peed in public. Oh well, you know. It's like how many people sitting outside bars go and take a leak in the alleyway?
If it would have been like, yeah, he shouldn't have peed in public, but we're from the country. I mean, we live in a place where you can go pee outside on your front porch, and nobody says anything because it's the country.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, but again, it's such is the nature. I mean, you know, it's like it's to you. We're posh, we're proper. You know, it's like, now get over yourself. You're just a bunch of country bumpkins who have a wannabe Ivy League school in the middle of Tulsa. Yeah, no. So the vulture media getting that little girl to do that, horrible, shouldn't have done it. But I mean, at least, you know, out of the mouths of babes, they say the kid's not going to probably tell you a lie there in that story. So, but again, just the cruelty, you know, it's like that little girl licking her little SpongeBob thing, you know, barely able to string a sentence together. You know, it's like, that's too young to be getting an interview. But, you know, that's what they want. That's what sells. That little girl, she's going to go viral off of that little clip there.
Yep.
So,
and the big news today from all this is Biden wanting to go ahead and ban guns again. And what we were talking about already is it's funny that a school shooting happens. We could talk about banning, you know, guns, but that guy, that CEO gets murdered, not a word.
not a
and
peep about gun bans.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, too, is I'll say, it's tragedy, but thank goodness it wasn't perpetrated with an AR-15. Gosh, we'd never hear the end of it if it was an AR-15.
Yeah, it was a handgun, as we heard from that video.
Report. So, thank goodness. I mean, it could have been much worse. I think, one person is for sure dead, and
two people. There
two
was
people
a
died,
teacher
and
a student.
2 other people in critical condition.
That's correct. 2 people in critical condition, as we heard. There were 6 people actually shot. 2 are dead. 2 are in critical condition. Yeah. I hope the other 2 are just, you know, it's just minor wounds.
Our commander in sleep is currently, you know, like, again, politicizing this because, again, never let it's like what Barack Obama said, never let a good tragedy go to waste. You know, now they're going to try to string along, hey, this is a gun control issue now. It's like, but again, the disgusting nature of left-wing politics, you know, it's like, hey, who cares if a CEO gets shot in the back by somebody? No gun control talk. Then that's in New York City, too. Like, holy cow. Like, New York City has some of the strictest gun laws ever.
Yeah.
And nobody, not a word. They go, well, sometimes they slip through the cracks. It's like, and in this case, it's like, this should never happen. This should not slip through the cracks.
This also comes back to, like, if that guy's from Pennsylvania originally, that means he crossed state lines with a weapon.
Oh, my gosh, Rittenhouse all over again.
Kyle Rittenhouse all over again, except this guy actually killed with intent to kill, whereas Kyle Rittenhouse only killed with intent to defend.
Looks like crossing state lines is back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, that's 100% the case. But I have the NPR article pulled up here if you want me to go ahead and read it.
Yeah, scroll your way through it, man.
Absolutely. All right, from NPR, here's what we know about the deadly school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin.
Apparently we don't know that much. This is one of the shortest articles I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, we probably learned more from watching that video than we will from this article, because this article is from yesterday.
But it's from 4 hours ago.
Oh, is it? Oh, it sure is. Okay. So anyway, here's what it says. A teacher and student were killed in the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin on Monday, while 2 other students are in critical condition. 3 other students and another teacher sustained non-life-threatening injuries, which, we don't know what this is from. It could have been from kids fleeing, just running over each other, running into stuff, or it could have been from, trying to get hit by, getting hit by the rifle or the pistol, I should say, in this case itself. We don't know. But anyway, the suspect was already down when police arrived at the scene a few minutes later after 10:57 a.m. 911 call. She is believed by police to have died from a gunshot wound, although the medical examiner has not confirmed the cause of death. Here's what else we know. Who is the suspect? Natalie Rapinoe, 15, has been named as the suspect in the shooting. She was a student at the school and went by Samantha. So she was a student at this school.
What do we know? 2 insufferable Rapinoes. Megan Rapinoe, the lesbian soccer player, and now this one.
Mm-hmm. She was pronounced dead at the hospital shortly after the shooting. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said that the department had spoke with Rapinoe's family searching her home, but the motive has been not named yet.
Yeah, well,
she wrote a manifesto. It's clearly been named. They just haven't scanned.
Oh yeah,
through it.
we know what the motivation. They know what the motivation is. They're just not going to release it. They probably won't. If it has anything to do with Christian hate or she did it for trans people and the LGBTQ community,
well,
they're not going to release it anytime soon. It's like the transgender shooter at the Tennessee Christian school.
Yeah, they didn't release that for like a year.
Yeah, They was like, we'll just release this and hope nobody notices. And
it also said, from what's been ported by Andy No, from what I've been looking, she's a radical feminist. She has been indoctrinated by radical feminism, is what it said. And radical feminism hates Christianity, the family, and the nuclear family, and men. So, I mean, if anything kind of sums up the patriarchy, it's the white middle class Christian religion.
It hates traditionalism. It hates conservative values. It hates the fact that biological imperatives are put on people. It's like, look, ladies, you have a very short window in which you have fertile birthing years. Can some of you, if you live a healthy lifestyle, make it and extend your fertile years a little
45,
more?
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that's if you live a very, very active and healthy lifestyle. But, feminism is just all about hating biology, hating the limits that have been put on you by time, by God and time. It's a rejection of God, essentially. It's like, screw you, Dad. You're not my real dad. That's what it is.
Anyway, let's get back to it. Barnes said Rapinoe did not have any previous brushes with the law that he knows of. I mean, that is the case. This is the problem with, people like, all people need to have background checks. All people who buy guns need to have background checks. What if someone hasn't, like this girl, has never committed a crime before and then buys a gun with the intention to do a crime?
How old is she?
She's 15. She
couldn't have bought it.
Exactly.
It's mom and dad's gun.
Exactly.
It's dad's gun.
That was also my point. So she's not allowed to have a handgun. And 2, even if she was old enough to own a handgun, if she has not committed any crime yet, it's not like the gun people can be like, well, we can't sell you a gun because we think you might commit a crime with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is what this is going to boil down to is mental health and radical ideology being taught to children at a young age. And like I said, it's a Christian school. I doubt I don't know. Rejoice had. I know. My sister came home and told me some of their teachers gave their firm opinions about Donald Trump and his first term at Rejoice. So I mean, teachers are not above forcing their ideas on kids. But what I will say
And we
is,
saw from that college professor that was talking about RFK Jr.
Yeah.
said they're definitely not above talking crap about politicians.
again, they want to have this influence over your kids. So I mean, I doubt again any of the teachers in the school did it, but I mean, follow. I guarantee if you check this girl's TikTok, if you check this girl's Instagram, whatever her social medias are, you'll find some pretty radical stuff in there.
Yeah.
Right, and the mainstream media will be like, oh, this is just normal mainstream stuff. But if you're a layman or a normal person, you'll be like, no, this is some pretty bad information this girl is consuming.
Yes, 100%. Now, what has been the response? Barbara Weirs, Abundant Life Elementary School and Relations Director, said the school does not have any firearms on campus, and the students are not allowed to shoot fake finger guns on the playground either. That's how bad it is with schools and this is bad. Like, I mean, we're talking like the two dads, mowing the lawn, shooting finger guns at each other because they're both wearing jorts or whatever.
Yeah.
That's wrong on a playground at an elementary school.
And it's so dumb. I mean, I remember. You remember reading that article about that kid that got expelled for making a handgun
Pop-Tart.
out of a Pop-Tart?
Yep,
Like he was like
I
he
do
ate
remember
the
that.
Pop-Tart and made it look like a gun. He was like, "Check it out, guys! Bang, bang!" And they're like, "You're expelled, young man!" Like,
Yeah, that happened like 10 years ago.
how crazy is that, man? Like, it's just nuts. It's like what is it? What was that the famous one? The famous school shooting, the first big one. You know what I'm talking about?
The what?
Columbine.
Columbine, yeah.
Columbine. It's like this post Columbine. Like, I mean, finger guns and eating a Pop-Tart and turning it into a
But
gun.
that's
It's
where
just-
politically correctness started really taking over in the
Mm-hmm.
90s. That even Jordan Peterson talks about it.
Yeah.
It's like it really went completely wild there, and it's ridiculous because I mean it's like the same thing happened with you remember Iron Man? You remember the Iron Man movie, the first Iron Man movie?
Mm-hmm,
The original line in the thing, where he meets the Air Force guys that are guarding him, taking
Mm-hmm.
him back to his plane before they get attacked, said the original line that kid was supposed to tell Tony Stark, yeah, all my friends would have killed themselves to get this, would have killed to get this job. And the military said, don't say kill yourself because the military has veterans have a suicide problem.
Oh yeah.
So that line got scrapped, and the guy who was the writer of it was like, yeah, I thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever. I was just like, that's how soldiers talk. I even talked to a bunch of my friends who were soldiers, like, oh yeah, we would say crap like that all the time.
Absolutely, I can tell you this for sure. Like I remember, I was right at the tail end of basic training. We were on the forge. It's like the final 3-day excursion out in the field at basic training, and I'm walking down this fire break with my platoon. And you remember being out there, like some of those fire breaks have some really bad terrain and they have some dips and
Yeah.
stuff in them. So
You can roll your ankle really easy.
I
out
stepped
there.
in one and nearly I nearly fell, and a drill sergeant who I was a particular fan of was like, "Oh, look, old man Watson about to have to restart his entire career." And I said, "No, drill sergeant, if I have to restart this, you can just kill me now." And then I got yelled at for making a suicide joke by the drill sergeant because they go, "This is a serious subject, man." It's like, no, it's not. Like, I'd literally kill myself. Like, I'm not actually gonna kill myself. Basic training wasn't that hard. I'm just saying I don't want to have to be here for another 3 months. Like, that's why I would kill myself.
Yeah.
But again, the military. It's a no fun organization anymore. It's like no more jokes, no more fun having, no more nothing. I mean, again, kids filing sharp complaints for people cracking jokes, stuff that when I was growing up, is like I was cracking jokes that I made in high school, it's like, and kids were like going, "You can't say that," and I was like, "You guys I'm making the same jokes I made when I was your age. Shut the F up."
Yeah.
Just enjoy enjoy your youth. God.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was the sharp rep for my class, for my platoon, and I was like, anytime someone came in, okay, is this something real or did somebody just make a joke? You know, and that's what I would kind of break them up into. Is like, is this something that do you really want to continue to pursue this because this person made it? I understand if it was directed at you and you felt personally slighted by it, but is this really, you want to take this up the chain of command to get this person kicked out of the army? Is this really where you want to go? And then they think about it no, not really. I go, okay, good. If it happens again, let me know and I'll confront them about it. But don't do this if it was just a one-time joke and they're never going to say it again.
Yeah. So anyway, back on track. Where are we at in this little article here?
Oh, I can keep going, but we're at the response.
yeah,
right
we were
now.
talking. Yeah, the response. Yeah, we were talking about political correctness. The kid with the Pop-Tart. Yeah, that's kind of where all that went. No more fun to be had. You can't even do finger guns and political correctness has gone nuts because of all this Columbine and school shooting stuff. It's just nuts.
Yeah. Back to it. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers said that there is no words to describe the devastation and heartbreak we feel today after the school shooting at the Abundant Life Christian School at Madison this morning. President Biden called the shooting shocking and unconscionable in the statement. From the Newtown to Uvalde, Parkland to Madison, so many other shootings don't receive attention. It is unacceptable that we are unable to protect our children from the scourge of gun violence, Biden said. We cannot continue to accept this as normal. Every child deserves to feel safe in their classrooms. Students across the country should be learning how to read and write, not have to duck and cover. And that is absolutely ridiculous, especially considering the sheer fact that that guy that got shot, the CEO got shot, silence.
Silence. Absolute silence about it. Didn't even say a word about it. Gun violence? What's that? Well, I mean, remember, violence is okay when the left does it. When the left is the perpetrator of violence, it's okay. Unless we can politically weaponize it against gun owners, in which case then it's bad.
Yep. But that's all there really is in this article. The last little bit I have right here is Abundant Life Christian School is a private academy, serves about 420 students from kindergarten to high school. The school was set to close for this week's Christmas vacation. It is not known if they will be able to come back to school before break is over. And this is the issue right here, too, is like, this means that these kids, you know what the last week before Christmas break is. It's literally
Christmas
nothing
parties.
but fun and games.
Yep.
So that is, I can't believe.
Well, maybe not for the older kids, but, because this is K through 12. So you
Yeah.
have,
Yeah, it'd be like
middle
Rejoice.
yeah.
It's the equivalent of Rejoice here in Owasso.
Yeah. So, again, Biden weaponizing gun rhetoric against the average American, because that's what it's about. It's about them attempting to grab power to, stomp out your rights as a American citizen. To be like, you don't need guns. Don't worry, the government will protect you. Remember, I mean, it's like this school didn't have a corrections but what do you call them? A resource officer.
Yeah.
But guess what? That one at what was the famous one where that little turd? You know what I'm talking about, that little turd kid.
Kyle Hogg or
David Hogg. Yeah, his school. Like, the school resource officer didn't even go in. Again, government failure right there. It's like, oh, I don't want to go in. I don't want to risk my life for these snotty kids. Screw them.
Yep.
Like, that's what they want. They go, don't worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to be a responsible citizen. We have a guy to do that for you. Or the one in Texas where the officers just took forever to go in. Like, you had that guy with the AR going, my kid goes to school there. I'm going to run in and take care of it.
I thought that was the church shooting, but yes.
No, it was the school in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? El Paso. It was the El Paso.
He was an off-duty border patrol guy.
Yeah, and he had
right.
a gun in his car. He goes, I have an AR-15. I'll go get it. And he was running in. The police stopped him, and then the police took their sweet ass time going in.
Yep, I do remember that now. And then there was that church shooting in Texas where that guy grabbed his AR-15 out of his locker, and he didn't even go to that church. He was just near it, and he went to go help.
Yeah. So again, average citizens like Daniel Penny stepping up, doing the right thing. Now the rest of us are going to get punished because, it's like, well, you don't need guns. Don't worry about it.
Yep. But yeah, speaking of, we'll go ahead and get to some of our memes. We've already gone through all this. I mean, this is just right here, 15-year-old Natalie Lynn Rapinoe, but we've already seen all this stuff already. So, But anyway, now with all the gun control crap coming back, actually banning abortion would just result in people getting them illegally and unsafely. Anyway, why do you ask? She's holding a sign that wants to ban guns. Man, dude, I love freaking Stone Toss.
Yeah, Stone Toss is fantastic. His comics, age well. Age very well. Yeah. That's a good one right there, too.
This one's perfect regarding what's just happened. Health insurance CEO gunned down in an act of premeditated murder. The left, good riddance. And then we have serial child molester killed in self-defense by a teenager he was chasing. The left.
Yeah,
it's like no kidding. Like look, that is equipment because they keep comparing everything to Kyle Rittenhouse right now.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Rittenhouse did not kill somebody in premeditated murder. He only attacked people who were attacking him. It was self-defense.
Yeah, it's amazing. I saw one similar to this, but it was from the left. It was from a left-wing perspective, and it showed. It goes the right whenever a citizen murders a black person, we're like vigilante justice, and then it shows this, and it goes, and then it shows them, but they're conservatives bootlicking the CEO going, I can't believe they would do this, and someone's licking the boot of a CEO. It's like, that's not what it's about. We're talking about a standard of right and wrong. It's never right to murder your adversaries, regardless of what they are. I mean, what did Jesus teach? Turn the other cheek. I mean, again, this is how you know society has gotten so godless, so far away from a religious Christian moral foundation. Because it doesn't matter. Like, if I don't like a person, they deserve to die. It's like, it doesn't matter. You turn the other cheek. That's what Jesus taught. But, no. It's like us. It's like, it doesn't matter. Let's just kill them all. Yep. Anybody who makes more money than me, they don't deserve to live. That is where you're going with it. That is the argument of the left in a nutshell.
Yep. And then I have this one right here. Democrats, Luigi Maggioni, shooting a CEO. Yay! And then Americans owning guns. And they're crying.
And I don't even think Luigi Maggioni was the guy. I don't think he's the shooter. His eyes and his forehead profile do not match that of the shooter. You know what I mean? Like, they showed a picture of the guy in his eyes,
Yeah. A lot of people said that was the camera angle, but it's still possible that it's him. But yeah, there's a lot of suspicion about if this guy really is the guy.
I think this Luigi Maggioni guy is just
trying to take credit.
He took credit, got the whatever, and then he's getting the other guy off. Or like, what if the other guy was a CIA asset or something like that? I don't know.
He's just a kid probably trying to claim fame.
Yeah.
This is the only way he's going to be famous.
Exactly. It's like that guy that tried to get Crowder deplatformed, Louder with Crowder, Carlos Maza.
Yeah.
Remember him? Like, he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. He lives in a 17-room mansion in Miami, and he goes, "I'm oppressed." Are you kidding me? Like, that's the same with this Luigi kid. Like, the only way for them to get famous is to bootlick for communism, essentially, even though they grew up with a silver spoon in their mouths.
Yep. And then this I just thought was kind of funny. What progressives think they are, and that they think that they're the the Star Trek, the Enterprise, the this is what the future communist utopia is going to look like, and what they actually are, they're the freaking Borg, which, if you know what the Borg are, they're a collective hive mind that are all like, it's zombies, basically, like robot zombies.
Yes. Step out of line, you are no longer part of the hive. It's like you will be removed from the hive if you're not a part of the hive.
Mm-hmm. Then this just kind of relevant to like the crime and punishment thing. 20th century British justice posted a racist comment on Facebook. Sean Tuck, 15 weeks in prison. Sold anti-immigration stickers. Sam Molina, 24 months in prison. Raped a 12-year-old girl. Al Somalimani, 180 hours of community service.
Well, justice was served. That's fair. Gosh, I mean, that's anything involved, like, doing that with children is uniquely evil. Anything where you do something to a child should not just be considered that crime. It should be considered torture as well.
Yep.
Because children are too young and too innocent to know any better. If you commit a crime on a child, I say tack on a torture charge too. Yeah.
Okay. Next one I have here, and this is what it feels like to defend the murder of that CEO.
Yeah.
This is literally what it is. Murder is okay because he was a CEO. Yes, you are all wrong, and it's one guy against the freaking mob. And that's literally what it feels like, because the left is going crazy. I can't tell you, just going on Facebook and Twitter, and not really Twitter as much, because Twitter's, kind of more right-wing now, but even though if they look, they did the stats, it's 50-50.
Look at it this
crazy.
way, from a Christian perspective. That guy right there, standing by himself, is Jesus. The rest of you are the Pharisees. Does that make sense to you now? Jesus would stand up for what is right, regardless of how bad the person was. It's like, that's the same story of the let he who is without sin cast the first stone to the woman that had an affair or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like, that's what we are. It's like, yes, is he the CEO for an industry that nobody likes? Yes. Has he probably made a bunch of unethical decisions in his career? I don't know. I'm not going to even venture out and take that leap. He might have been the most moral and ethical CEO ever. He could have been the guy that was trying to turn the company around. I don't know for sure. But I will tell you this. If you think it's okay to kill somebody just because they make $10 million a year, next it's going to be, well, it's okay to kill somebody because they make $1 million a year. Yep. Next, it's okay to justify killing somebody because they make $500,000 a year.
Yep.
Next, it's okay to justify anybody who makes a little bit more than I do, getting rid of them because they make a little bit more than I do.
Yep.
That's where this goes. That's where this leads. Okay, folks? So have a moral standard and hold to it. Murder is wrong, regardless of whether or not you like him or you don't.
Yep. And two, here's another thing right here. I just thought this was funny. It's kind of relevant. If you homeschool your kids, they won't fit into society. Exactly. And two, guess what? If you homeschool your kids, you don't have to worry about school shooters.
Yeah. That's true. You can have, literally, if you homeschool your kids, you could be like, hey, kids, guess what today's homeschool lesson is? Firearm safety and how to use them properly and what they're supposed to be used for.
Mm-hmm. That would drive the left absolutely nuts, too.
Yeah, instead, you have all these other kids who are going, if you homeschool your kids, you're not going to fit into society. Well, maybe you don't want your kids fitting into society, especially if what society is pushing is driving these kids to kill each other.
Here's this next one. This one's not really relevant, but I just thought it was funny. Hey, corporate press, how's it going? Huffington Post. Could a small nuclear war reverse global warming?
Dude,
Jesus Christ.
That's how you know that left-wing politics is just turning into a death cult. Like, what does that meme represent? What does that article represent? Well, if people die, it's a good thing because it's going to save the climate. So nuclear war is a good thing now because it'll thin out the population and less people will be able to breathe. Less people will be able to breathe out CO2. So it's a death cult. That's all this is. That's literally what this is. The entire media apparatus and the people who are pushing for the climate change agenda, they're death cultists saying less people, better.
Yep.
And we can even justify nuclear war now.
Yep.
I would say we should say this one for tomorrow.
I will, but that's what this whole topic will be of tomorrow. Is CNN actually freed a Syrian torturer?
Yeah.
But that's really about it. This one's kind of funny. I'm sorry that a bad man touched you inappropriately. Let's wait 30 to 40 years until he runs for office against a Democrat before we bring it up again.
Yeah. No kidding.
But I think that's really. Oh, this one's good. The drones over the sky, the government. It's, Bart Simpson's pretending to be blind, and then it's OMG, that guy has a pet squirrel, and they're all in on it.
Gotta take him out. How dare he have a squirrel?
How dare this man have a pet squirrel?
Did you remember? I read a comment on one of our videos about Peanut the squirrel, one of the shorts, and it said that squirrel was being sexually abused. Like there was somebody who actually believes that the guy was sexually abusing a squirrel.
That's why I even asked him. I go, "Where's the source for this?" And he's like, "Just look it up." And I did. And he goes, that guy, he looked like kind of a tool. The guy that owns that animal
he
rescue
was
looks
like
like
did gay porn or something.
No, he has an OnlyFans account. It didn't say what for, but it sounds like it was for adult content. So him and his wife look like they would the type of people that would do that. You saw them from their interview. But if there was anything of them abusing their animals on camera, do you not think that would be all over the internet that day, and then everyone would be like changing their tune immediately and be like, "Get this animals away from this man immediately."
Yes, but it's so stupid. So stupid. But again, a lie will travel halfway around the world before the truth has time to put its shoes on.
Yep, that's 100%. But that's really all I've got for today. I mean, we got some stuff for tomorrow, but if you want us to go ahead and end it out, I don't really have a video to play us out with today since we're kind of more at a serious topic today.
Yeah, no, I just remember, don't allow the gun control argument about school shootings to don't allow Democrats to justify this incident by saying gun control is what we need to solve this issue. Clearly not. Clearly not. I mean, this was a handgun. This was a 15. Again, I will not be surprised if it comes out that this girl was trans or did this for trans people. Again, it's sad. And again, this is a bigger issue, is the mental health crisis going on.
Yeah.
The stuff that these kids are consuming on TikTok through their social media, this is what's polluting their mind. Again, the climate change issue, whatever it is, they're filling the God gap with that. Like for this girl, it could be feminism. It could be the trans issue. It's like that is their God now. That is who they serve. And if they don't get their way, the world is over. The world ends. We have to get that type of mindset and mentality out of kids.
Which, as we've seen, if you just get your kids off the internet, get your kids away from phones, go back, give them a flip phone so they don't have freaking access to the internet. Like, just give them technology
Actually,
to
hold on.
communicate with you. What's up?
Case is watching. Just remind him he sent that video about the phone taking away kids' phones, like that British.
Oh yeah.
Let's try to pull that up really quick, and that's how we can.
Is it
end
something
the
you
show.
can send to me?
Yeah, it's something we should send. I'll see if I can find it really quick.
Pull
Like
up,
it was
I'll pull
the.
up my Facebook.
I just can't remember which app he sent it to me on. Is the problem? Gaunt Silver. Sorry, folks. Oh, here it is. I think I found it.
All right, send it to the account, and then
Oh,
I'll pull
excellent.
it up.
Yeah, this will be perfect.
Is it a video?
Show it. Yes, it's a video. It's on Instagram, so I'm going to send it to the Facebook chat right now.
I'm waiting for it, and we'll play that out with us.
I accidentally typed words. Words. I don't want to read words.
Reading's for yellow.
Okay,
belly.
I just sent it to you.
All right.
So again, the video we're going to end out today is like an experiment done where kids turn their phones into the school, and then guess what? Their productivity and their mental clarity went up because they didn't have this thing in their pocket distracting them 24 hours. They didn't have to worry about what their friends were doing. They went back to kids in the 90s and the 80s who just rode around on their bicycles and if you wanted to go hang out with somebody, you just went to their house, rang their doorbell, or knocked on the door, say, "Hey, is Billy in? I'd like to play."
Yep, I've got queued up and ready. So
So,
go ahead,
yeah,
just
hey.
take us out.
Again, so don't let the Democrats convince you that gun control is the answer. You know what? Because the answer is always giving the government more power. That's never the answer, is giving the government more control and power and authority over your life. When you live in a free society, you risk things. It's like every time you get in a car, you risk getting into a car wreck. But guess what? I love the freedom of being able to get in that car. It's worth the risk of me potentially getting into a car wreck to drive around and have that freedom to go where I want to go. Same goes for owning a gun. It's like, yes, we run the risk of someone using that gun on me.
You run the risk every day walking across the street of getting hit by a car. And the only thing that's keeping you safe is a little light that says, "Hey, cars, stop. There's a person crossing the street." Mm-hmm. It takes one person looking at their cell phone or not paying attention to the light just to ram you and end your life right there.
Yeah. So again, don't let the solution always be more government. Can it sometimes be that solution? Sure. I'm not going to go out and say it might not always be. Maybe the government needs to come in and regulate the healthcare companies a little more better, or at least make pricing, more transparent. But other than that, don't always jump to the left-wing conclusion that that's the issue. So with that being said, that's all we've got for you today. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that's about all I've got for you today. God bless.
See you later, everybody.
Guys, it's my baby.
That's sad.
It's like a
Liana.
baby.
No, that is sad.
We're following the Stanway School in Essex as they take part in our total phone ban experiment.
I think that you'll probably find that some, when their lives revolve around it, they're going to find it near to impossible.
How you feeling, Liana?
A little bit sad.
A little bit sad.
It's my life.
I'm actually really excited.
Are you? Great.
I sort of feel like it's going to be like a weight off my shoulders almost.
It's like taking everything that you find fun and that you do away from you for 21 days. It's annoying.
I'm already bored out of my mind. The last resort is me having to read a book.
When we're not playing with him, he's just like...
And it's just repetitive.
Oh, it's constant.
The noise is just dum, 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 dum.
The students haven't found parting with their devices easy.
My phone! Oh, come back to me.
It would be so weird not having a phone until you're 18. My dad got his first phone at 18. And that's kind of crazy.
Whilst the smartphone-free existence has its challenges, many of the kids are now starting to feel the benefits.
I'm a lot more active than usual. We've been playing board games, going out for a bit and just having fun.
I've quite enjoyed not having a phone, and I've really enjoyed being more sociable.
When I'm coming home and sort of spending more family time, when I look at a phone, it just seems a bit weirder. My sleep's better. I think I'm more sociable, concentrate better, and sleep better. In lessons, I don't know why, but I'm more focused.
I have felt less anxious without my phone. I haven't had any anxiety or panic attacks. I think it's gone really well not having a phone.
I definitely think I'm going to delete TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. I usually get quite worried before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And I'm still suffering with that. But it's I suppose it's kind of helped.
One thing that I noticed early into the experiment was that as the students were coming in, the students who didn't have their phones seemed readier to learn.
The eye contact. Yeah. When you stop them in the corridor, when you're speaking to them, when you're checking up on them, Their eye contact skills, in just a couple of weeks, seem better than they used to be.
Guys, it's my baby.